That's Dozy, and as you can see, I have managed to get the chicks out to the farm, and I thought this was basically going to just be a boring video about me getting the chicks out. Well, it turned into an adventure. So listen, my children, and you shall hear about moving the chicks from home to here. Yesterday, I left the farm a lot later than I planned on because of getting everything done. Not only did I have my normal work to do, but I also wanted to get the chick pen finished so I could get them out here. I figured it would make my life much easier, and if I go away for any reason, it means that my chickens are all in one place. Nobody has to go to my house to feed or anything. So I got home a lot later than I'd planned on. It was after 6 when I left the farm, and I'd gotten steak for sale the other day, and I'd planned on throwing a steak on the smoker. Yeah, it's a big steak, and it would have been more than I could have eaten in one sitting, but that's okay. Something that I'll heat up over the fire when I camp out, or even if I'm just having a fire. And plan on that, potato salad, a green salad, and maybe an ear of corn. Instead, I had the potato salad and the green salad, and I was too tired to even do any other work that I'd planned on doing, like cleaning my bathroom. It still needs to be cleaned. But I decided that I was going to remove the chicks at night. It's much easier. For those that may not know, chickens can't really see at dark after it gets dark. And if you use a red light, you can still see, but they can't. And I did have a red light. And I decided I was going to do the smart thing. I was going to get my shower before I left and throw on some clothes, grab the chicks, bring them out to the farm, go home, and go to bed. That was the plan. First started out exactly as I planned. Got my shower, and by then it was dark. Got my red light, got my crate, and I went out, and I was able with no problem to catch all 13 chicks. And I put them in the crate. And then I started walking up to the Jeep. And I'm walking, and I hear this loud noise from the crate. I didn't know what it was, but I thought it was maybe just from the chicks moving around in there. But I had to switch hands, so I put the crate down. And when I put the crate down, I realized that there were chicks trying to get out of the back of it. Now, I do not know if there's supposed to be a bolt here of some sort. I do not know if that came off last night or if it's been missing for a while. This clip was also undone, as was this clip, and I had chicks trying to escape. I was able to shove them back in. If I had thought about it, I would have left the pen open, which I had closed, because I did look around and I didn't see any chicks on the ground. The problem with that is the majority of my chicks are dark. So they're not that easy to see at night. I get out to the farm, and I was being very careful with how I was carrying the crate. Put the crate down on end because it's easier than to reach in and grab the chicks. And I started putting the chicks out, counting as I went. I said I had 13 chicks. I finished counting. I had 11. I dumped the crate just to make sure I wasn't missing something, which I didn't think I was, but I wasn't. So then I went in and I looked in the back of the Jeep. No chicks. I live next to the woods. While I have a fenced-in yard, we do have owls, we have raccoons, we have skunks, we have possums, and while they might have trouble getting into the yard, the other thing that we have is we have owls. I have seen and heard great horned owls. Had one in my yard a few years ago. And also this bird called a barred, B-A-R-R-E-D, owl. And I caught a glimpse of one of them once, but I do hear it occasionally. So now I'm panicking. I drove home a lot quicker than I normally drive at night. I normally try to go a little slow because of deer. And I get home, grab a headlamp, take Callie with me, hoping that she'd help me track them down, and we start looking for chicks. At first, I walked back to the pen to see if I saw any sign of them and to open the door for just in case. And now we're looking. and traced the way back to the pen, looking all to the sides. And my yard is a mess right now. It really needs to be mowed. It's got a lot of tall weeds in it, and I'm not seeing anything. So then I start really concentrating and looking around the pen, hoping that maybe, just maybe, they had made their way back there. And then I heard it real faint. Cheep, cheep. It's like, okay, that's one of the chicks. So I started looking a little bit harder and kept trying to see if I could hear it, and I heard it again, and I was able to find it, and there was a little black chick. I think it's that one back there. And because it was dark out and I couldn't really see what I was doing, I was able to catch it. Of course, now it's all upset and really peeping, but I was able to get it in the house. And it's still missing one. So I figured, well, if the one's there, the other one can't be far behind. So I started looking some more, and there's a little one back there. It looks like a little Easter egg. I'm pretty sure that's the one. And found it again, caught it, got it in the house, closed the house up overnight so that I'd be able to get them out in the morning, and thought I was done with adventures. Well, then I went in the house, and one thing I had to do when I got in there, I didn't mention it first. I took Callie with me for the ride. She stayed in the Jeep while I got the chicks out. I have a rope that goes from my front door to a piece of rebar so that when I go out the front door and take her with me, or even if she just wants to go out front, I know her. She'll be all over the neighborhood. So I put her on the rope, and somehow or another, as we were walking to the Jeep, she managed to give me a rope burn on the top of my left foot. About 1/8 of an inch wide, about 1 inch long. So I had to put some Neosporin on that, put a Band-Aid on it. And I'm wearing socks for today, even though I hate wearing socks at this time of year. So now I'm wide awake. And instead of being able to go to sleep fairly quickly like I thought I would, I had trouble sleeping. It was after 12 before I was able to go to sleep. And it's like no matter how late I go to sleep, it seems like I always wake up between 5 and 6 o'clock. This morning was no exception. So dragging this morning, finally had my breakfast, went out to catch the 2 chicks, and showed exactly why catching them last night was the good thing. I was able to catch the one with no problem. Well, can't say with no problem. It was not the easiest because, like I said, now they can see me. They're not used to being handling, and it's all upset. I was able to catch it, get it in the crate. And then I go to catch the other one, and I'm trying to block it in the house. Well, it managed to get past because, you know, they're little, and it got under the house. The house is only about 18 inches off the ground, and there was no way that I could just reach under there easily to grab it. I had to get down basically on my belly and scoot in there, and I was able, it wasn't easy, but I was able to catch it, got it in the crate as well, and came out and was able to get both of them in here. I was curious when I got in here, so well, whether or not the chicks had figured out where the food was. Well, they have. I keep seeing them going in. That's where the food is, inside of there, and of course the water's there. I have seen them getting a drink. So they're all out here, and hopefully there'll be no more chick adventures for a while. And I will talk at you later.